Greetings everyone. Today we once again will be looking at the lore of Kenshi. This time we will be focusing on more modern history that transpired around 1000 years ago before we as players are introduced to the game. You can find the link to the previous video on the top right corner, where we discussed the ancient period of Kenshi, which took place many thousands of years ago. Now, without further ado, let's begin. It is unknown when and where exactly, but around 1000 years ago, the new race emerged from seemingly out of nowhere. They were called the Hivers. These creatures were humanoid in appearance, but if you look closely, they more resemble an insect than a human being. The Hivers' way of life resembles that of an ant or a wasp here on Earth, with strict caste system and the queen as a cornerstone of their society. Hivers rose to prominence within the world of Kenshi, and you can see them everywhere. Whether as workers toiling for the good of their hives, traders that wander off to find rare resources and bring them back to the hive, or just lonely drifters who broke off from their queen's control and tried to live independent yet more dangerous lives. It is entirely unknown whether the Hivers were present during Catalon's empire and where they came from. Some speculate that they're mutated humans, others say that they just came from other lands beyond the main continent. If the second assumption proves to be correct, then it means that there are lands yet to be discovered with more people, lost technology, riches, and new dangers. It is rumored that around this time another race known as the Shek appeared. The evidence suggests, however, that the Shek are an older race than Hivers and were around for thousands of years, even during Catalon's Second Empire. Moreover, the Shek seem to be integrated into the society of the Second Empire just like humans and skeletons. Since most of the information from that period is either lost or destroyed, it is hard to confirm this. But the main evidence that suggests that it is true is the Holy Nation's fear and disdain for this race. The citizens of the Holy Nation firmly believed that the Shek were not only a part of Catalon's Empire's society, but in fact their enforcers. Since they fought against the human rebellion, the Okranites called Shek the servants of darkness, and both hate and fear them to this day. The Shek consider themselves the true warriors and take great pleasure and satisfaction in fighting. Their entire bodies are made for the purpose of war, with bony plates that protect them, stronger muscles, and even horns on their heads. It is unknown whether they mutated from humans, were genetically engineered, or simply evolved as a new race. But it does not matter to them. The only thing they are concerned about is constant fighting, and death on the battlefield is considered to be an honor for them. For a long time, the Shek did not present any real danger to other races and factions. The reason for that was that they did not form any nations or kingdoms and preferred to live as small tribes and fight and raid each other. This has changed with the coming of Kral, however. It is rumored that Kral was the strongest Shek warrior to ever live. He united all the warring tribes into one formidable force and took them to conquer and pillage new lands. He also taught the Shek a code of honor that they still follow to this day. But during one of his battles, Kral had to face a great enemy that outnumbered him 100-fold, and despite valiant fighting, he was slain. Since then, he was worshipped almost like a deity, and every Shek warrior strives to die on a battlefield against similar odds, just like Kral. Just as the new races rose to their prominence, new factions emerged that called themselves the United Cities and the Traders Guild. Whether they emerged from the ashes of the Second Empire or were formed independently is not confirmed, but it is highly likely. The United Cities strived to build a prospering society and fix the mistakes that the Empire of old could not. They decided to free people from tyranny and only force criminals into hard labors such as farming, mining, by enslaving them instead of throwing them into prisons or executing them. But in the world of Kenshi, a relentless pursuit of criminals and slavery are a slippery slope. Not long after the formation of the United Cities, the term criminal started to have a more loose definition. If you are rich, ambitious, or have a lot of connections, your life would be calm and without any trouble. But if you are too poor, then you would be considered as a danger to the prosperity of United Cities and be branded a criminal, and sent off to die somewhere in a quarry, where you won't be missed. This is all I wanted to talk about in this video. This is not the last episode about the history of Kenshi, however. In the coming days, we will be looking at events that transpired a few years right before we as players are thrown into this world. We will also be covering certain interesting events in greater detail. If you like this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more. If you have any ideas for future episodes or just want to give some feedback, then leave the comment down below. This will help the channel grow and bring you more content. Thanks for watching and goodbye everyone.